Strength Warehouse presents Go Heavy or Go Home podcast. I am your host, Nate Boley. In this podcast, we talk about strength, fitness, nutrition, and all things Strength Warehouse related. Hey guys, welcome back to the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast. Today, we're going to talk about building momentum, keeping momentum, and how to get back on top of momentum once it inevitably will start to slow down. So we all start with some type of want, right? The initial spark, the reason why we started to do something. And as you know, this is a fitness podcast, so we're going to be talking about fitness journeys and stuff like that. So, you know, everybody has a similar, they're all kind of similar, right? Either you want to lose weight, gain muscle, feel better, fit into some clothes, there's all these little like buckets that people kind of all generally fit into. That is the reason why they started to do fitness. Mine was because I wanted to get more muscles and look bigger and be stronger. I was a very skinny high school graduate. I graduated 127 pounds at 5'6". So as you can see, or as you can visualize, I was a very, very skinny, small dude. And I remember trying to lift up 25-pound bags of potatoes and carry them up 2 flights of stairs, and that was really hard for me. And I knew some guys that, you know, had some muscles and they were stronger, and I really just was like, hey, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that with ease and not have to worry about it and not have to dread every time the potato bags came in on order at the restaurant, right? So first of all, we're just going to talk about what is momentum, especially in the fitness industry. So this is basically right out of like Wikipedia, but it's like a strength or force gained by motion or by a series of events. So it's to start the ball rolling, and it's the hardest to get it going, right? So you have this giant stone. It's a round stone. It's just sitting there. And you're like, I want to get this thing moving. I need it to move away wherever it's going to go. And so you have to give a lot of energy to get that thing moving. But once it starts to move, if you've ever pushed a car, you definitely already know this. But once it starts to move, it's a lot easier, and it'll actually sometimes it'll just keep on going and you have to kind of stop it, right? But basically it's by a motion or so strength or force gained by motion or a series of events. That's what momentum is, right? And the initial spark is why you started. Now, some people everybody starts at different levels, whether you have never done anything physical in your life, or you used to do something physical in your life and you quit for several years and now you're trying to get back into it, or whatever. That initial like getting back into the gym, getting back into a routine, into a fitness routine and eating habits, whatever, that's your hardest push, arguably. There also is some other areas which make it really difficult as well, but I think that we can all kind of just say that, hey, probably getting started is going to be the hardest part, right? All right, so consistency is obviously key. Execution is the key to getting started. Consistency is the key to actually getting some kind of whatever result that is, whether it's the stone being moved, the broken car being pushed down the road to the shop, you getting started on your fitness routine, you starting a new whatever you're going to do. Consistency is going to make sure that you have those results, right? Not letting the little things derail you when inevitably challenges are going to arise. Your work's going to, challenge you. Your family life's going to challenge you. Your health might challenge you. Having a broken down car might challenge you. Whatever it is, there's going to be challenges in life, and you have to be able to navigate around that. And there has to be some sort of like non-negotiable thing, right? So if you really want something, just say, hey, I really want to lose these 10 pounds. I really want to gain X amount of muscle. I really want to feel this much better. I want to lift this much weight. Whatever it is, you have to have non-negotiable talks with yourself. Like, I am going to get this work done. Whether it's I'm on vacation, I don't feel good, my day's been crappy, somebody yelled at me, traffic was terrible, work life or my work schedule's changed, whatever it is. My financial picture's changed. All that stuff goes into these. I don't care about those things. I obviously do care about them, but I'm going to get in the work that I need to do to get to the result, right? So that's having consistency. The next thing that we really talk about, and this kind of maybe could go before consistency, but I just kind of wrote it down this way, but setting clear and manageable goals. So this is where your coaches help at Strength Warehouse. This is what we do, right? So we help you set clear goals in the very beginning in the no sweat intro. Well, at least we try. And then we meet with you again in 30 days and we help you create better goals. We give you a goals sheet that you can go home, take it home and do some homework. We set you up with goal reviews at the first 30 days and then every 90 days afterwards. And we really try to go over, hey, did you hit the goal you wanted to achieve in the last X amount of days? If you did, that's awesome. If you didn't, how come? How can we get you there? And if you did, great, what's next? We have to keep going. Humans are very, very much, we're into novelty. We want new things. We want shiny objects. We want the grass is greener. We want the next thing. And that's why strength training is so amazing, because you literally have a 400-pound squat or a 200-pound squat or a 100-pound squat or whatever. The next week you could go for a 105 or a 110-pound squat or whatever. You could always work up to the next goal, right? So setting clear goals and clear expectations of those goals is absolutely crucial. Now, how do we keep those goals in mind, right? So I have a couple different ways. Usually I will put, if I have a what they call a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, I will put that goal in multiple areas so I can see it on a consistent basis every single day, all day long. And so I know that is my target prize, right? So just for an example, I have goals. They're written right now in format. For the beginning of the year, I have these, I think it's 5 different goals for the year. They are written on my mirror. I see them in the morning when I'm getting ready for work. I see them at nighttime when I'm going to bed. And then they're also on my phone as well. So every time I look at my phone, I can scroll over, see the goal, go back, and I have that goal in my head and in multiple different areas of my life. So I'm always seeing those goals. If you guys haven't done anything like that, it's super, super powerful. I have my goals, and then I have my routines in the same exact area. So I don't have any excuses not to do them because I see them multiple times. And if I don't do them, it's straight up, I don't want those goals as badly as I thought I did. And that's you have to get really clear with yourself when you're setting goals. Like, everybody can say, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z. I want to be Mr. Olympia. I want to be the strongest power lifter out there. I want to, be the best bike racer. I want to do a marathon. I want to, fit back into my college day clothes. Those are great, but if you don't do the things that are necessary to get there, you don't want them that bad, right? So if you set yourself up like I have set myself up and I don't achieve those goals, that literally means that I did not want it as badly as I thought I did. And that's okay. We're all humans. And we make mistakes and stuff like that. And so it's like, hey, I thought I wanted these goals. Apparently I didn't want them as badly as I wanted to because I didn't achieve them. Now, one of my goals is from the very top of my sheet. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it was very, the word's escaping me right now, but it was overzealous, I want to say. And I wasn't anywhere close to this goal. And I put it up there. I first put a goal that I think I could have achieved. Actually, I was pretty close to achieving it. And then about a month later, I crossed it out and went way bigger, like double what I was looking at. And I'm nowhere near that goal. So I failed that goal. And it wasn't because I didn't want it. I just wasn't realistic about the goal. So there's two sides of this coin, right? It's like, hey, we have to make goals that are obtainable, but we also have to make goals that we really, really, really want. And I want you to stretch yourself a little bit. I'm part of a mentorship group that helps me with my with our gym business, and every 90 days we meet, and they push us to stretch ourselves, but they also reel us back in when we're like, hey, that isn't where you are, and where you want to be is an amazing goal, and you will get there, but probably not 90 days. So let's scale it back a little bit. Let's get some, that this could be like a subsidiary goal or whatever. All right. So setting clear goals is basically your secondary thing after the initial spark. Consistency is really just like has to go over through the whole thing, right? All right. Celebrating small wins and milestones. So you have to look at it this way. Fitness is not a destination. Health is not a destination. It's a lifelong journey. And you have to, I hear this all the time. I hate exercising. I don't like XYZ. I don't like doing this. Okay, great. But you want the results still, right? So you have to change your mindset and believe that, for me, my goal right now currently is a 705 deadlift at under 220 pounds in the sub-masters category. So I've got a couple years left to get it. That's a goal, but it's not the end result, right? It's not the destination. I'm living the journey every single day. When I make choices and I go to the gym and I hit the gym hard, I'm like, hey, do I want to hit the deadlifts hard today, or do I want to, am I following the plan, or am I going off track? What's the end all goal here? The end all goal is 705 because that's a national record. Great, I'd love it. But when I hit a 705 deadlift, am I going to walk out the gym, lock the key up, shut the lights off, and go home and just do nothing for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. Now, I may hit that 705 deadlift and then never hit that 705 deadlift again. That's okay. It's, again, the journey of getting to whatever goal you want to get to. Lifelong, strength and health for me is obviously my end goal. Once I've died and I've lived all those years of health and strength, there's no more goals to be had on this earth. But anyway, celebrating small wins. So we do this in our gym. It's called Spotlight Friday. We talk about our wins, and it's not, again, I'm beating a dead horse with this because I've talked to so many of our members about this and so many of our coaches. It's not trying to showcase your wins to everybody else. It's not trying to compare yourself to everybody else. It's not trying to do it and then knowing you have to consistently do it again. I mean, if you want to, that's great. I haven't missed a Spotlight Friday since we started doing it ever, just because I'm the one who wants it to keep going. And I love doing it. I think it's a great way to showcase your wins, celebrate the small wins, and and be the leader, which I want to be. So I highly, highly suggest you guys, and you don't have to post it. You don't have to. It's not, that's not a mandatory thing, but celebrate them with yourselves. And we love to celebrate our clients' wins. So if you want to and you feel great about it and you want to try it, love to celebrate with you. Actually, Spotlight Fridays is one of my favorite days. I go through our private members only Facebook group, and I read a lot of the spotlights, and I love it. It's absolutely one of my favorite days. Celebrating the small wins. Routines and habits. How are they formed? All right. So I'm just going to go on to my best friend. It's called Google here. And I'm just going to give you how to build habits in 5 steps according to science, right? All right. So step 1, set a specific goal. Again, this goes back to our setting clear goals, right? You need something specific to be able to say, I did this or I didn't. It has to be objective, right? That way you can define the goal and hope to turn this into a habit. So the goal could be, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds, right? Okay, so that's a specific goal. I want to lose 10 pounds on the scale. Bang. How do you turn that into a habit? Okay, well, you have to go to the gym multiple days a week, at least 3, at least 2 if you like your life's crazy. 2, you could probably get there. 3, you're definitely going to get there. All right, create a detailed plan, and we help you out with this, right? We don't leave you hanging to do it yourself. We will meet with you, in our goal reviews, and go through and make this a plan, and we will show you the way how to get there. So create a detailed plan, right? Make it fun to repeat. So coming to class, hanging out with your coach, going to the gym, seeing your buddies, all that type of stuff. Making, the nutrition part of it fun and exciting. It doesn't have to be boring. You don't have to eat chicken and rice like I do every single day, or steak and rice. You can make your nutrition fun. Foster flexibility. All right. So this is like a Google thing, right? But having flexibility in your schedule and having flexibility in the plan is so absolutely huge. And I know we talk about this all the time. Coach Tierra talks about this all the time. We're humans. If we have such a rigid structure, we're going to break and we're going to not finish it through. And even if we do finish it through, it's going to be so undeniably unfun that we're probably never going to do it again. And one aspect I can say for sure is in the bodybuilding world. So I have never done a bodybuilding show, but I remember one year I was over at a gym here that was in Bend. It's no longer a gym here in Bend, but very, very much a bodybuilding community-based gym. Everybody seemed like everybody did the shows. Everybody was training for bodybuilding. Everybody was doing the dieting. And I was like, heck, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just not going to get on the stage because it's not for me. So I followed to the T a bodybuilding training plan and a diet plan. And I'm going to tell you, I was so unhappy and it was so stringent and so rigid that I felt like a complete failure if I even ate one, calorie more than I was supposed to, or didn't hit the weights the exact way I was supposed to. And it was I almost quit doing fitness because it was so terrible. Now, I'm not saying bodybuilding in a whole is that bad. I'm just saying a lot of people put themselves through that rigorous, rigid structure, even with powerlifting. I've done it to myself in powerlifting too. I'm like, if I don't hit these numbers, blah, 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 it doesn't feel good, right? So let yourself have some flexibility, but just know, hey, I had too many drinks. I ate something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't hit the gym like I was supposed to. That's okay. Get back on it next week. That's all we care about, is consistency over a long period of time. And then find the right kind of social support. That's the last thing, that's building steps. So, of course, that's what Strength Warehouse is built on, is support network, right? So we have, a bunch of different coaches. We have a client success manager. We have goal reviews. We have Spotlight Fridays. We have the community base, everything that's going to help you as much as possible create those habits. And then a support system to when you are not doing what you're supposed to do. How do we get you back in? I find all too often we'll get clients that, come in, they're off for a couple weeks on vacation. We reach out to them. They're like, okay, I'm getting back into it. And then the next thing you know, we're receiving a cancellation policy, request from them. And then we reach out to them like 6 months later and they haven't done anything with their fitness. So it's unfortunate. I hate it every single time. I wish that wasn't the case, but that just is the way it is. Okay. Overcoming adversity. I don't know if anybody can talk more about this than I can, but today actually was my 13th year of squatting over 400 pounds or more. 13 years of squatting over 400 pounds. So I have had a knee surgery. I've had knee tendonitis so bad that I couldn't even walk up and down stairs. I had another meniscus tear. I've tore my quad. I broke my foot. And then also had a shoulder injury so bad that I didn't have to have surgery, but I could not grip a bar. So that's 7 things that has kept me out of the gym for multiple weeks at a time. I was unable to do most of the stuff, so the shoulder when I could use a safety squat bar and stuff like that. I didn't stay out of the gym for everything. I just didn't squat, right? And then I couldn't deadlift either for some of those ones. But I got back into it as soon as possible. I'm just getting over my foot being broken. I'm at 5.5 weeks now. And I'm squatting again and I'm deadlifting again, thanks to my amazing doctors that have been helping me out, and protocols and stuff like that. But my point is that I still did every single thing I could. So I was in the gym doing bench overhead press, if I could, seated overhead press. I was doing back exercises. I was doing core exercises. I was doing pull-ups, doing biceps, whatever I could do. I was doing non-foot loaded leg extensions and hamstring curls. Just everything I could to keep the momentum going, because I know that breaking my foot was a huge momentum drawback, right? My rock started rolling real slow once my foot got broken, mostly because I was in a walking boot and crutches for a few weeks, so I was unable to keep going for that. But long story short, overcoming adversity and plateaus, a lot of times people will get some kind of adversity, some kind of injury, some kind of plateau, and then they're not seeing the gains they want to anymore, and so they're just like, they're gone. Oh, the gym doesn't make sense for me anymore. It's I don't see any value in it. It's too much money. All the excuses. Insert random excuse here. I don't care unless the doctor has literally said, do not go to the gym. You have a heart problem. You got whatever problem. Do not do some kind of exercising. There should be no reason why you can't go to the gym, right? Just for an example, when I had my foot broken or I had my shoulder thing going, there's so much more things you can do at the gym. You sit with your coach and you ask him, hey, what other things can I do? Can I work a partial range of motion? Can I do a really light loaded XYZ? We've got all the answers for you. We can keep you going. If you need a surgery or you need to, lay off for a little while on that specific movement, and then you're just like, oh, I'm just going to back off forever. I'm just going to go take 10 steps back and not do anything. You're not going to come back with momentum. You're going to come back with that stone or that car. The car now has flat tires. The stone now has an uphill that you're going to have to push it up. It's not going to be my stone still rolling and I'm just going to take a step back. Once I'm healed, then it's going to be full force again. No, you're going to have to get that freaking rock going again. And that's not easy. A lot of times people think that that's what's going to happen. They come back, they try to push on that rock again, realize it's really difficult, and then they're out forever. Or they're out for years at a time, right? All right, dealing with failure. Learning from the process and mindsets with failures. This is huge. I see this all the time. Hey, I didn't get XYZ lift. We do a lot of max effort lifting in our gym, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, stuff like that. You work really, really, really hard and a long time, and then we test out. And then you're like, I didn't get any new PRs. This sucks. I'm out. Or I'm going to try something else. This isn't working for me. So that's not, obviously, first of all, not a great mindset, because you're going to run out of things to work on, because you're always going to fail at something. And you're never going to be good at something until you've done it for a long period of time. So embracing the mindset of, hey, I may not have gotten XYZ goal, but what can I learn from what happened, right? So how we do that a lot of times is, making sure we're tracking what's going on and making sure that you have a good mindset on what's happening. Did I not sleep good that night? Did I take too many weekends off? Did I go party too much? Did I miss classes or miss sessions? Or did I not have my diet on point? All these things are huge indicators of why you may or may not have reached your goals. Anyway, you just got to make sure that you're aware of that. If you don't hit a specific goal, you're on the hook for that. We're here to help you, but I can, take a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. You have to be able to drink the water. So one thing we talk about for keeping momentum up is the role of accountability. All right, so I've been lifting now for, I started when I was 20, so 17, almost 18 years now, 18 years. And the first several years I worked out, I had workout buddies. And that was probably first 5 years I had workout buddies. The next 3-ish years, probably 2-ish years, I did it by myself. And then I met my wife, Megan, and we started working out together. And then I met some other cool people, and I started having workout buddies again. One of which I hired for a little bit of time for a coach, and he didn't really know what type of stuff I was doing, but I just told him, look, I need a plan. I need something to follow, because I can feel myself falling off, and I'm feeling myself losing motivation and momentum, and I need somebody to help me. So he helped me for a little while, and then he moved away, and he didn't want to do it anymore. So I got back on doing it myself. And again, I started feeling myself plateauing. I started feeling myself, I wasn't setting clear goals. My routines and my habits were off. I was dealing with failures. All these things were stacking up against me. And honestly, I could have just quit. I could have just been like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I found another coach. I've been working with that coach for almost 4 years now. It's crazy how long it's been going on. I own a gym, right? And I remember somebody told me, I don't remember who exactly it was. I think it was multiple people, but they're like, hey, you want to know how to get out of your fitness routine quickly as possible, or be the most unhealthy you've ever been in your fitness career? Own a gym. And that can't be more true, right? So I literally sit 6-8 hours a day, 10 inches away from the gym floor, and I have to force myself to get into the gym a lot of the days. My coach keeps me accountable. Hey, how come I haven't seen your videos today? How come I haven't seen you posting on your workout app? All that type of stuff. I have a coach. My wife has a coach. Some of our coaches have coaches, and we sell coaching. Like, it's just the way it is. The highest level people in the world have coaches. Why? So when things get hard, they have somebody to talk to. They have somebody to bounce ideas off of, and all that stuff. So that's the role of accountability. Also, and group type stuff. You start seeing people in the gym, and they're going to be like, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. You might see them at the grocery store, and they're, oh, I haven't seen you for a week. Oh yeah, okay, cool. I'll be in there next week. So that's the role of the accountability, to help you guys. Again, another aspect of kind of where you can fall through the cracks. Having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So I was at a meeting just last week in San Diego, and one of the speakers, they talked about this thing called status quo or status grow. So this is a mindset thing. Are you just sitting around being like, hey, I'm happy with where I'm at? Or are you like, I want to improve, I want to get better? Those are the biggest things. Those are the most successful people out there, getting to the things they want to do in life. Whether it's vacationing, buying a new house, buying a new car, upgrading your career, upgrading your fitness, getting healthier, whatever. All these stuff. If you're just, hey, I'm just going to roll with the punches and let life happen to me, and I don't have any control over it, I'm just going to be status quo. Or are you going to have that's the fixed mindset, right? Just being like, I can never be that person. I'm not that good. Or I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to try to grow. I guarantee you, if you have that mindset, you're going to get farther than you ever thought you were before. Regular reflection. So going back, celebrating your wins, tracking your progress, and having those the Spotlight Fridays, the goal reviews, the in-body scans, the app that we give our members to track all your progress. You can go in and literally look. I mean, I guarantee you, we've worked with almost 1,000 people since Strength Warehouse has started. I think it was like 980 people. None of those, I guarantee you, every single one of those people have seen some sort of improvement while they're working with me or us. Whether it's a lifestyle improvement, a health improvement, a weight loss improvement, a squat bench deadlift improvement, whatever it is, they've definitely seen an improvement. And I would probably guess that 80% of those people weren't tracking them. They weren't tracking them. They were just living their lives, doing their things. You see the people that are doing regular reflections, doing the goal reviews, celebrating their wins, tracking their progress, and tracking their body stats and how they feel. They're going to go farther because they're going to see the small wins. They're going to see the stacking habits, and they're going to keep that momentum going. If you're not doing that, I highly recommend you at least start writing down what's going on, how you're feeling every single week, what kind of workouts you're doing. Are you able to do stuff better outside the gym? I just did a goal review with one of our ladies right now, and she was telling, or one of our current members, and she was telling me how much easier just sitting up was. Like, she went to a park to read, and she's like, I just sat cross-legged and sat up, and it was so much easier for her. And I was like, dude, that is a huge win. If you're having a hard time just like sitting up, that's not a very good quality of life, right? Like, and so that was a huge thing for her. And when I told her that, she was like, you're right. That is something awesome. And then, another client told us, like, hey, work is so much easier. I deal with people all day long, and I've got to sometimes wrestle them down. And it's so much easier when I know I'm healthy, fit, and strong, and I'm more confident when I'm doing that stuff. I've had several clients who are a big ski community, older clients in their late 50s, early 60s, sometimes in their 70s. They go, I've never skied better since I was in my XYZ age or whatever. So they're skiing better than they have in 10, 20 years, right? Those are types of things that if you don't sit back and reflect on, you're never going to see them. All right, avoiding burnout is another thing. Going too hard is a mindset that CrossFit really embraced, but it's also embraced in the weightlifting and the fitness industry as well. So it's like, hey, what do you do when you start to go hard? What are the signs of going too hard, right? So maybe it's a decreased motivation. You're not as hungry as you were anymore. You're seeing progress start to lack. Going to the gym seems like a chore instead of having fun. And then, of course, you're not gaining any strength, or you're not losing any body fat or whatever. Those are all, maybe you're not sleeping well, that type of stuff. Those are signs of, burning out. So I would just say, hey, embrace deloads, vacations, and cheat days. And know a lot of the training we do at our gym is RPE, so rate of perceived exertion. And that helps people really get to know their bodies in each day and each week, how it's feeling. If it doesn't feel right that day, it's okay if the weights are a little lighter. If we do, percentage-based type stuff, and you don't hit the percentage number you're supposed to be on, that can be a mental drag for you. So like, hey, I've been working super hard. And I didn't hit the weight I'm supposed to. I didn't hit the workout time I was supposed to, or whatever it is, right? That can be a mental drag on you. That can start to put you back into that fixed mindset, into that status quo, into all those other things we talked about, those pits and valleys that can really destroy or throw you off your fitness game. All right, the power of the people you hang out with, who you choose to surround yourself. I know you've heard this before. You're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So if you're a fitness person and say you want to get on your fitness game, and you are just starting out, but every single one of your friends and everybody you hang out with at work, do not do that. And they're encouraging you to go out on Thirsty Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays and all the type of stuff. And they encourage you to eat all the junk food at the office and all that type of stuff. How hard is it for you to overcome those temptations of your peers, right? So I remember when I was working at Subaru, there was not a lot of people in the fitness space that was there, and I got all the time asked to go out to parties, and I got all the time to go out to lunch, and I all the time got asked to skip the gym to go do XYZ thing. And for 10 years, I thwarted them off pretty well. I said, no, I will every now and again, right? It's like, you got to have that flexibility. Yeah, cool. There's somebody's birthday party. Great. I'm going to go. They're all going to lunch for a special occasion. Great. I'm going to do it. There's a meeting. Cool. I'm going to have pizza. But 9 times out of 10, it's cool, guys. Hey, I'm going to hang out here and eat my lunch. When you guys come back, I'll chat with you after that. Or, hey, I can't make it out tonight. I've got this thing I'm doing at the gym, or it doesn't align with my personal goals. So those are the types of things that you really need to look at. How can you find the people that are around you that are going to support you and help you? So coming to a gym like Strength Warehouses, where you have a community of people that are on your side, that are voting for you to win and all that type of stuff, is absolutely huge. Adapting the change of seasons in your life, right? So I get this so many times. Hey, my work life changed. I can't come to the gym anymore. I'm just going to give up on my fitness. Really? Your work schedule changed? So most gyms are open from like 6 in the morning till 7 at nighttime. You're definitely not working that long. And if you are, you definitely need to seek some help for some counseling, because you should definitely not work that long. You're going to risk burnout in your job, in your career. I know I've been there and it sucked. I hated my life. But just because you have to embrace the changing seasons in your life. So, hey, you tell me I got to come 3 days a week. Right now I'm only able to come one. Great. So only come one. As soon as you can come back for 2, hit 2. As soon as you can come back for 3, hit 3. And if you can come back for 4 or 5, great, hit those as well. That's great. I know for a fact, like when I broke my foot, I was only able to work out 2 days a week. Now I'm usually a 4-day-a-weeker. When I'm gone on vacation or at a work meeting, sometimes I can only hit a 2-day or 3-day, week. I want to hit 4, but I can't always do that. So just adapting the changing seasons of your life and knowing that, hey, I'm still getting my goal in, and I'm still having that momentum. Even if my rock is super slow right now, it's not stopping. When you stop and you quit doing the fitness routine stuff, the rock is stopping. And sometimes even if it might be an uphill battle for you for whatever health reason or whatever, it might start to go backwards. It's definitely not going to just keep going. Absolutely not. The compound effect of consistent day-by-day actions. It's a snowball event over time, right? So I like to talk about this as investing, right? So not everybody, but there's a lot of people that know out there. You start investing early on in your life. Like say, hey, for me, I have started investing in my kids before they even were born. So they have a huge momentum gain of investments and compounding interest on their money even before they get into the workforce, even before they start school, anything of that. I unfortunately didn't have any of that, and I had to start investing when I was in my late 20s. Well, I didn't have to. That's when I started investing, and I'm not going to have anywhere near the amount of money that they will when they retire, because they have 27 years of investing power. Fitness is no different. If you start your fitness journey when you're 50, now that's great you started. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying you had 50 years of potentially bad habits and not taking care of yourself and all that type of stuff that is already set in stone, right? You've already lived it. You can't go back and take it back. And so your investment in your health is going to be much shorter over the course of the rest of your life than if you started when you were younger and you kept putting in that investment, kept putting in that investment, kept showing up to the gym. That's the type of stuff that really, really helps over the long period of time, right? So the compounding effect, like I said, small, consistent, day-by-day actions. Then when the next decision is something that I heard on a podcast and I really love it, right? So you can go get a donut, or you can eat the pre-made food that you have in your bag from Sunday, or you can make good coffee at your house and put good ingredients in it, or you can go to a local coffee place and get a really sugary whatever. Those are the types of things that are really going to set you up for success, and they're really going to help you put the next, keep that momentum going, keeping that rock from stopping or potentially going backwards. But all right, guys, that's 40 minutes. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Anyway, until the next podcast, I will see you on the other side. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey of strength. If you liked this episode, please leave us a review and share with a friend. To stay connected, hit that subscribe button. All right, until next time, go heavy or go home.